Hey, it's Sam with Ridester.com. In this video, I want to show you everything you need to know about tipping on Uber. How much you should tip, should you tip, and all the ins and outs that you as the driver or as a rider should know. Now, something to keep in mind is that a lot of people don't think that you have to tip on Uber. And that's because Travis Callahan, the previous CEO who has been since ousted, gratefully, try to create a culture where he tried to keep prices as low as possible and create this kind of mindset that you don't have to tip, which is kind of weird because it's a service job. And so you tip based on kind of service you receive. Now, gratefully, they've changed the policy and now you can tip through digitally instead of just through cash. So you can do either or. But the question still lies, should I tip and how much should I tip? And this is what I would say, yes and no, and it depends. Okay, so what I mean by that is that just like any service job, tipping is not required, right? If it was required, it wouldn't be tipping, it would be part of the wage, what is due. Tipping is saying, you did a great job, I want to reward you for that. I appreciate you. So, so with that said, you should not tip bad behavior. You should not tip bad drivers. I have some friends who say, I always tip no matter what, because I care about the service industry. And I say, if you care about the service industry, don't always tip. So this is my rule of thumb. Over tip excellent service, do decent tips for good service, and don't tip for bad service, okay? Why that's important for this is that because Uber is part of the gig economy. In other words, unlike a server who has to clock in and they have other factors and a schedule, an Uber driver can just clock in and then work for 1 hour and then not work for another hour, or another month. And there's all this freedom for us to do it or not do it. And so it's doubly important for our community, for the passengers, to help weed out bad drivers and encourage good drivers. So give you an example. For me, one of my goals is to be the best driver possible. That anybody who sits in my car, I want them to be like, dang, that guy was the best driver I've ever had. And so I go above and beyond, and I know some of you guys make fun of me, but my income shows that this is valuable. But I will, if it's rain, I go out there with an umbrella and escort them. Now some people are like, man, that's too much. But you know what? More people than not appreciate it. All right, I do things like that. I have temperature control. I make sure the car is clean. It smells well. It smells good. There's snacks and there's water and all these different things. And I work hard on being a good conversationalist or not a good conversationalist if they don't want to talk. All these little things add up. Now, let's say I work my tail off to produce the best experience possible, and then at the end of it, they say thank you and they don't tip. You think I want to do that next time? Probably not. It discourages me, right? It discourages me from giving the best experience possible. It encourages me to take the mindset that many drivers have, and that's, my job is to get from A to B safely. Yeah, sure, you can do that, but you're not going to make a lot of tips with that kind of mindset. So if you want to encourage and try to create a culture where we have the best drivers possible, over tip when they're excellent, and just do normal tips when it's normal, and then no tips when they're bad. And if you want to go above and beyond, not only tip, but you can write comments, and you can, in the ratings, say why you're rating them the way you are, why you're tipping them away, so that you're giving them specific reasons so that they can grow and become better. Remember, affirmed behavior is repeated behavior, okay? And if you're not affirming when there's good, you're gonna see less of that good. Furthermore, reflected experience is what's important, not just experience. And so if you're not giving them things to reflect on, they're not going to grow as a driver. And so I know that's a lot. I mean, this is above and beyond. But when it comes down to the specifics of how much, typically 10% is about the minimum level, and then really good tips, 25% or more. I've received 50%, I've received 100% tips, and that really encouraged me to continue to do above and beyond. So check out the blog link below to go into more specifics on how to tip and more of the suggestions and more the ins and outs, but hopefully this is a helpful video to give you a good picture of what it looks like to tip on Uber.